The black void of space suddenly lit up with bright flashes. Massive ships appeared where nothing had been just moments before. They were huge, each one the size of a small city. Their metal hulls gleamed under the distant sun's light. Strange. Symbols glowed along their sides, in colors that human eyes had never seen before. Admiral Zexthara stood on the bridge of the largest ship. His tall, thin body cast a long shadow across the control panels. His 4 arms moved quickly over the displays, checking data from the long journey. His large, dark eyes studied the small blue planet ahead of them. It looked exactly the same as it had 30,000 years ago. "Report," he said to his crew. His voice was deep and musical, the way all Cytherians spoke. "We have arrived at the target system, Admiral," replied his navigator. "Third planet confirmed. The primitive world where the Eternal Vigil crashed all those years ago." Zexthara nodded slowly. This should be easy. The creatures on that planet had barely learned to use fire when his people last visited. They lived in caves and hunted with crude spears. By now, they might have learned to build simple huts or perhaps discovered farming. But they would still be no match for the mighty Cytherian Empire. "Begin scanning the planet," he ordered. "Find our lost ship. I want to retrieve it and return home quickly. This backwater world has wasted enough of our time." Meanwhile, on the far side of Earth's moon, Commander Jake Morrison was having his morning coffee when the alarm started screaming. He jumped up from his desk, spilling the hot drink across his reports. The Luna Station control room erupted into controlled chaos as officers ran to their stations. "What's happening?" Jake shouted over the noise. Lieutenant Amy Clark looked up from her screen, her face pale. "Sir, we've got multiple contacts appearing at the edge of our solar system. Big ones, really big ones." Jake moved to stand behind her chair. The display showed 15 massive objects that had just appeared out of nowhere. They were moving slowly toward Earth, still far away, but getting closer. "Are they ours?" he asked, though he already knew the answer. "No, sir. The ships don't match any design in our database. The technology they're using to move through space is completely unknown." "And sir ... double quotes." Amy paused, checking her readings again. "They're scanning us right back." Jake felt his heart skip a beat. In all his years of military service, this was the moment they had all trained for, but hoped would never come. First contact with aliens, and they didn't seem friendly. "Get me a direct link to Earth Command," he ordered. "Priority Alpha. We need to wake up everyone who matters." On Earth, President Lisa Kennedy was in the middle of a budget meeting when her security chief burst through the door. General Paul Martinez was right behind him, his usually calm face showing worry. "Madam President, we need to speak with you." "Immediately," the general said. "It's about national security. Actually, it's about planetary security." Lisa looked at the budget papers scattered across her desk and sighed. "Gentlemen, this better be important. We've got serious problems with—" "We have visitors," Martinez interrupted. "From space, and they're not friendly tourists." 20 minutes. Later, Lisa sat in the underground command center beneath the White House. The main screen showed the alien fleet, now much closer to Earth. Dr. Carol Wright, the nation's top scientist, was explaining what they knew. "The ships are using some kind of faster-than-light travel," Carol said, pointing at the data. "They appeared instantly, which means they have technology we can only dream about. Each ship is roughly 5 miles long. We count 15 vessels total." "What do they want?" Lisa asked. "We're about to find out," said Communications Officer Pete Davis. "They're sending us a message." The main screen changed to show a tall, thin creature with 4 arms and large black eyes. When it spoke, the words came out in a mixture of ancient languages that computers struggled to translate. "Primitive beings of the Third World," the alien said. "I am Admiral Zexthara of the Catherian Empire. 30,000 of your years ago, one of our ships crashed on your planet. We have come to take back what belongs to us. You will return our vessel and all its contents immediately. Any interference will be met with force. You have one of your days to comply." The message ended, leaving the command center in stunned silence. Lisa looked around the room at her advisors. "Do we know anything about a crashed alien ship?" Dr. Wright cleared her throat. "Actually, Madam President, we do. It's been in the Global Heritage Museum in Geneva for over 200 years. We call it the Geneva Artifact. It's where we learned most of our advanced technology." General Martinez leaned forward. "Ma'am, if they gave us our technology, then they're probably a lot more advanced than we are." Lisa thought for a moment. The crashed ship had indeed changed everything for humanity. The strange metals found in its hull had led to better materials. The computer systems, though damaged, had shown them new ways to process information. The engine designs had helped humans reach the stars. In many ways, that crashed ship had lifted humanity from a simple planet-bound species to masters of space. Travel. Send them a reply, Lisa decided. Tell them we'd be happy to discuss the return of their property. But we'll do it through proper diplomatic channels. Invite them to send representatives to meet with ours. "Ma'am," Martinez said carefully, "are you sure that's wise?" "They seem pretty demanding." Lisa smiled grimly. "General, they've been gone for 30,000 years. They have no idea what they're dealing with now. Let's show them how much we've learned from their little gift." As the message was prepared and sent to the Catherian fleet, nobody in the command center looked worried anymore. They had trained for this day. Humanity was ready. Admiral Zexthara received the human reply with shock. These primitive creatures had not only understood his message, but had responded in perfect Catherian language. That should have been impossible. And they were inviting him to diplomatic talks as if they were equals. Something was very wrong with this simple retrieval mission. 3 days after the alien message, Captain Ron Hayes stood on the bridge of the human starship New Horizons. The ship was beautiful, with smooth curves and gleaming metal that seemed to flow like water. Inside, soft lights provided perfect illumination, and the air felt fresh and clean. Everything worked perfectly, from the artificial gravity that kept everyone's feet on the floor to the computers that responded instantly to every command. Ron looked out at the massive alien fleet waiting in space ahead of them, the Catherian. Ships were impressive, but they looked old-fashioned somehow. Their designs were blocky and rough compared to the elegant lines of human vessels. "Take us in slowly," Ron told his pilot. "Let's not make them nervous." Behind him, Ellen Brooks checked her translation equipment one more time. As the team's